Hello, my name is Arthur Street. I'm the president of the Lowell Train Chapter of the United States Field Artillery out of Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I have a little museum out here in Coweta, and once a year we do a fundraiser for the disabled American veterans. These proceeds help the veterans, and especially around Christmas time that's coming up, and the first of the year there's a lot of need with them, and it helps them. I'll have a gentleman talk to you in a few minutes about that. His name is Tom Campbell, President of Chapter 88. I've been doing this now. This is the 5th year we've done it. It's the 2nd year we're doing it for the DAV. We have other reenactors that come out and help and participate in this. A lot of them are former military. We just like to educate people, teach them, and make a better understanding of the war between the states. That war was one of the most deadliest wars this country's ever fought. There's a lot of history, a lot of things came out of that war that people don't realize, and realize how things were set up. Our national banking system came out of the Civil War. Like I said, there's many things. If somebody would like to come out and see this place, they just need to contact me. The information you'll see later on. You need to make an appointment. I do have a lot of items out here. I do also have a full-scale 1861 Confederate Blakely cannon, which is a real nice piece with the ammunition cart. There's a lot of different things with artillery. There's a lot of different types of equipment they would use. I also out here on the property I've built a gun emplacement where you can see how the guns were put in earthworks that was used during the war. When you come out for the candlelight, we'll have different encampments set up to where you can see how the soldiers lived, how they did battle planning and strategies, how they send messages. The Civil War was one of the first wars for a lot of new items, like it was the first war for landmines, it was the first war to use hand grenades, first war to use basically aircraft. They used hot air balloons to fly over and see where the troops were and use them for different observations. The Civil War, there's a lot to learn about, and the more you learn about the Civil War, the more you realize what you don't know about the Civil War. What you see in front of you is a typical bunk bed from the Civil War era. The officer in the back is General Lyons, a Union commander that was stationed at Fort Gibson. You see the rifle rack in front of you. There's the little desk box on the floor which they kept their personal belongings in. Coats hanging on the wall. There's a little clothes closet to your right. This is a typical Confederate infantry man. He's carrying his 3-band Enfield with a saber, or the bayonet, and the backpack that's on him with his slouch hat. You notice he's wearing an upside down U.S. belt buckle. Well, that's the reason behind that is the South had a hard time getting the brass and the lead. So when they cleaned up the battlefields, they take the U.S. belt buckles and they turn them upside down and put them on their uniforms. So now it became an SN for Southern nations. These are a couple of cannons that were popular in the early 60s. The first one, the brown one, is the Johnny Reb cannon by Marks, and the other one is the Mighty Mo, which was a World War II style cannon by Marks. This is a saddle, an 1870s McClellan. McClellan was an officer in the Union Army. He invented this saddle for the cavalry, and this particular one, the reason why it's in the 1870s, this body here is covered in leather. The ones during the Civil War did not have leather on them. But a lot of the artillery officers did have leather on their saddles like this, or they'd have other types of materials because they had to supply their own equipment and buy it because they received a good wage for the military. The property behind you that you see, we will transform this into encampments and have Civil War soldiers out here in camp for the weekend. A lot of the guys like doing this because it does support the disabled American veterans, and they are, a lot of them are former military personnel themselves. We have a medic that comes out here, does a fantastic job. Things are so realistic. You know, it'll be starting at 6 o'clock and going till 9 o'clock, and any time in that time period you can come out here and we'll get a tour group set up to where you go through in a group of people of about 10 to 15, and you'll stop at about 10 different scenes to see different things that took place during the war. Some of the scenes you will not interact with, some of the scenes you will interact with and ask questions. The guided tour person will help you with that manner. Tom, how would you all be using these funds, and what will you be doing with these funds?
Well, Arthur, first of all, I want to thank you for allowing the DAV to be a part of this. We really enjoy it, and we have a lot of fun. We take care of the parking, security, vending with food, and all the funds that come from that go directly to local veterans within our community. We support at the holiday season, of course, food baskets. We have a scholarship program for local children of veterans. We help with emergency grants for veterans that are in trouble and can't meet their bills from time to time, and any other support to include transporting veterans to and from their medical appointments through our transportation system. And that's exactly where that money goes.
The veterans of yesterday would like to invite you to join the veterans of today and come out to the Coweta mission. The Coweta mission was a Confederate cavalry base camp during the Civil War and was active. Tom, why don't you tell them the time periods and when all this is taking place?
Be glad to. We're going to start on the 12th of October, that is a Friday, and on that day from 6 o'clock in the evening until 9 o'clock will be the candlelight tours of the various stations that Arthur mentioned. On Saturday we start at, we'll be open and available at about 11 in the morning. We have a Civil War battle that goes on at 1 o'clock. We have daytime tours for those same encampment sites that we had at candlelight. We call that Living History. That'll go on all day. We again on Saturday night, we do have a barn dance going on out here, and the public is invited to come to that. It starts at 7 o'clock p.m. And Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, we have a church service, and we have a second Civil War battle that starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a great time for families to come out, individuals to come out, and once again, all the proceeds do go to the disabled American veterans in the local community.
And what is the cost for admission?
Admission is $4 for an adult. It's $2 for children age 12. And if they're under 6, it's $1. There's also a weekend pass available for $1 more per person that allows someone to come out, bring the family for the entire weekend.